Have you ever felt like a ghost in your own life, present, but completely unseen? That's how Ethan felt. At 27, his apartment was painfully quiet. No buzzing phone, no group chats, no weekend plans. Just a loud, echoing silence. His routine was a flat line. Wake up, shower, coffee, work, home, repeat. At the office, he was a polite shadow. He'd smile and nod as coworkers shared stories about their vibrant lives, feeling like he was watching a movie he wasn't a part of. No one disliked him, but no one really knew him either. He was simply there. On Friday nights, the city would come alive with laughter and energy spilling from every bar and cafe. Ethan would walk past, the sounds of connection feeling like a wall between him and the rest of the world. He'd see groups of friends sharing secrets, making memories, and a question would burn in his chest. What's wrong with me? He wasn't rude or boring. He wasn't a bad person. So why was he so alone? Late at night, scrolling through perfectly curated social media feeds, the question twisted into a painful belief. If everyone else has people, and I don't, maybe I'm broken. One Sunday, sitting on a park bench, the feeling of invisibility was overwhelming. He watched families and couples and friends pass by, each a painful reminder of what he was missing. Then, his phone buzzed. It was his sister, Claire. "You okay?" she texted. He hesitated, his fingers hovering over the screen. For once, he decided to be honest. Just feeling like something's wrong with me. A few minutes later, Claire was sitting beside him, a warm coffee in her hand. They sat in silence for a while, the comfortable kind, before Ethan finally let it all out. "I don't have many friends. Sometimes it feels like none. And the longer it goes on, the more I feel like maybe I'm defective." Claire looked at him, her expression soft. "Who told you that?" "No one," Ethan mumbled. "Everyone else's life did." She sighed. "Ethan, social media isn't real life. It's just the highlight reel. No one posts their lonely nights or their quiet weekends." "I know, but still," he insisted. "People my age have circles, groups, history. I just exist." This story hits home for so many of us. This feeling, this belief that something is fundamentally wrong with us because our social life doesn't look like a movie, is a heavy burden to carry. But the truth is, connection takes time, and loneliness is a human experience, not a personal failing. It's okay to feel this way, and it's even more okay to talk about it. If you've ever felt like Ethan, remember you are not broken. Your story is still being written. Reaching out, just like he did to his sister, is a brave first step. Sometimes, just having one person who sees you is enough to break the silence. If you're struggling with these feelings, talking to a friend, a family member, or a mental health professional can make all the difference. You don't have to carry this alone. Do you ever feel like everyone else got a manual on how to belong, and you somehow missed it? You see people effortlessly gathering in groups, laughing, connecting, and you're on the outside, wondering what you're doing wrong. It's a heavy feeling, isn't it? This story is for you. It's about a guy named Ethan. He felt exactly like this. One day, a friend told him something that changed his perspective. She said, "Having few friends doesn't mean you're broken. Sometimes it means you're different. Sometimes it means you're deeper." That one word, deeper, stuck with him. A week later, Ethan was in his favorite quiet place, the public library. As he reached for a book, an elderly man next to him smiled and said, "Good choice. That book saved me once." Intrigued, Ethan sat down with the man, whose name was Harold. Ethan found himself asking a question that had been weighing on him for years. Is it normal to feel alone? Eben when you're not? Unlikable? Harold nodded. Very normal, he replied. Ethan confessed, I feel like I missed the manual on how to belong. Harold smiled kindly. Some people are born to gather crowds, he said. Others are born to understand themselves first. The world teaches us a lie that popularity equals worth. But some of the strongest people I've ever known walked alone for years. They weren't broken. They were becoming. Those words hit Ethan hard. That night, he realized something painful, but also incredibly freeing. He had spent years trying to prove he deserved friends, instead of learning to value himself without them. He was constantly measuring his self-worth by the number of invitations he received or the conversations he could force. So, he decided to try something new. He stopped apologizing for his quiet nature. He stopped trying to fit into conversations that didn't feel natural. He stopped chasing validation. Instead, he started doing things that felt honest to who he was. He joined a small writing workshop, not with the goal of making friends, but simply to express himself. He started volunteering at a local shelter, quietly and consistently. He took long walks, learning to enjoy the company of his own thoughts. And slowly, something changed. It wasn't a sudden, dramatic transformation. It was deeper than that. He began to feel solid. He started to feel whole, on his own. In the quiet moments he once dreaded, he found strength. He realized his value wasn't determined by who was around him, but by the person he was becoming when he was alone. So if you're feeling like Ethan, if you're feeling lonely in a crowded world, remember, tease, maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're not failing. Maybe you're just on a different path. A path of becoming. A path of building a foundation so strong that it doesn't need the constant approval of others to stand. Your journey is valid. Your quiet nature is a strength. You are not just surviving, you are becoming. Do you ever feel like you're on the outside looking in, wondering if something's wrong with you for not having a huge circle of friends? Meet Ethan. He was quiet, a man of few words, who poured his thoughts onto paper. One evening, after a writing workshop, a woman named Maya approached him. "I like how you write," she said. "It's real." For the first time, Ethan felt seen, not for being outgoing, but for being himself. He was whole because he had found a true connection. If this resonates with you, know you're not alone. Like and subscribe for more stories that understand.